Welcome to your first lesson on bedroom planning. Today we're going to be drawing a bedroom using DesignCAD from the sketch you've already sketched out using paper and a pencil. So let's begin by opening up the DesignCAD program by double-clicking on the icon. Once this opens, this window that opens up is asking us what drawing units we want to use for new drawings. So double-click on that or click on that, and this option comes up where you can select feet. We're going to be using imperial measure for this drawing, so feet and inches, so press OK. Now select Create a New Drawing. When the window opens, you will see a ruler on the top. Now, if you do not see this ruler, you can place your cursor near the top, right-click, and you can find the ruler and turn it on. At the same time, if you find that the coordinate bar and the double line bar are on, you can deselect this, as you will not be using these tools for this drawing. So let's begin. We're going to begin by drawing the outside perimeter walls. Select the Ortho Line Drawing tool and click on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen with the left mouse button. We need to go up 10 feet. So remember, we can go up 10 feet by going point and relative. To go up, we want on the y-axis to type in 10, and we're going to type in the apostrophe here to indicate feet. If we didn't do this, we would have to put in inches, which is the quotation marks, and we do not want that. So 10 feet, press enter, and you can see it draws a 10-foot line on the left-hand side. Now the line looks small, however, we're just zoomed out at this point, which is fine. So let's press enter and draw that green line black, and that's an individual line. Now I'm going to take and get my zoom to window tool and zoom so that I can see that line a little bit better. And I'm going to just scroll that to the left. Grab the Ortho Line Drawing tool, right click or snap to the top of that line. Point relative is the apostrophe, and now we want to go to the right 1 foot 6 inches. So we type in 1 foot 6 inches. So that's 1 apostrophe 6 quotation marks. Tab takes us to the next level. Type in 0, press OK. I want you to press enter again, and we're going to do that for all of the lines that are on the perimeter of the bedroom, so that when we parallel them, they parallel as separate lines. Now the window that we have is next, so we're going to get the Ortho Line Drawing tool, right click on this section here, and let me just do a quick calculation here. We have a total of 13 feet, and we are subtracting 5 for the middle, 6, 7, 8, so that means that these windows are each 2 foot 6. We are going to have 2 windows. So type in point relative, 2 foot 6 inches, press enter, and enter again. So now this is a separate line than this line, and this will become important a little bit later. It'll become apparent. So let's put those back and continue on. The middle line in between here, right click, point relative, is 5 feet. Enter, press enter again. Get the Ortho Line Drawing tool. This time I'm going to double click on it, and let's see if it'll stay up as I continue drawing. Right click, point relative, 2 foot 6 inches for that window. Press enter and enter again. No, the tool did not stay, so I have to keep on going and getting that Ortho Line Drawing tool. Right click on the end of that line again, this time 1 foot 6 inches. Press enter, enter again. Now we're going to go down negative 13 feet. Okay, so point relative, 0 on the X. If I press tab, it takes me to the next level. And I want to go negative 13 feet. Press enter. Uh-oh, what happened to that one? Why did it go so low? Oh, I made a mistake. That's supposed to be 10 feet down. So because it went so far down, if I just press escape, it will back up. and I can re-enter that number. So I'll go point relative. This time I'm going to say negative 10 feet. Press enter. There we go. That looks better. Press enter to draw the line. Get the line drawing tool. This time we're going to go 8 inches to the left. Negative 8 inches. Tab 0. And you can see that it automatically converts on DX. It converts it to a decimal. So it just divided 8 by 12 to get the decimal. Don't worry about that. Just know that we're going negative 8 to the left. Press OK. Press enter again and keep on doing this. The door is going to be 2 foot 8 inches. So right click, point relative, negative 2 foot 8 inches. Press enter. And then the last one here, this is one solid line. I can just right click here, snap, and snap over here and press enter. Now you're wondering where I got all those numbers from. They came from the sketch that I did prior to drawing this. You need to have a sketch so you have those numbers of how big your bedroom is and where the windows and doors are placed. Now that the perimeter has been completed, I can go ahead and start paralleling. Now this is as big as my shape is going to be, so I'm going to press this button here, which is my fit to window. And I'm going to start paralleling my outside walls, which is this wall and this wall, in 6 inches. So your parallel tool is located underneath your line drawing tools. It's the 7th one in. And this little window pops up here. Type in 6 inches. Now when I parallel this line inwards, it just parallels that line. So that's why I wanted to go and draw these as separate lines. I'm going to double click on the parallel tool, and I'm going to parallel all of these lines in 6 inches. So there we go. The middle wall, the window, and the stub wall. I'm going to change this value to 4 inches for my interior or partition walls. And I can parallel this one. I can parallel this stub wall. There's a door here, which I can parallel, and the final wall. There we go. There's my outside perimeter walls. You can see the exterior 6-inch walls are a little bit thicker than the interior, which are 4 inches. At this point, I can trim my corners. So there's 2 different ways of doing this. The first way is grabbing this trim tool, which is the first one. And how this trim tool works is you can trim the line against the intersecting line. So you can click anywhere, and this is a left click tool. I can click anywhere near this point and the intersecting line. There's your cutoff line. I'll zoom into this corner so you can see it a little bit better. Again, we're going to take and click just near the line and the cutoff line or the intersecting line, and go back and get the tool. Trim against, click on the line and the intersecting line. Okay, let's fit to screen, and I'll show you a different tool. This tool here is my, I think it's the 7th one in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8th one in. And this double arrow is an extend tool. I'm just going to double click on that so it stays up. And I can right click now on the end of this, and I can now right click on this point here because I'm telling the tool I want to shorten the line by this amount. Again, I'll right click this and I'll exaggerate. See how I can click this that much shorter, or I can right click and that much, but I want to right click and then I want to right click on this point. Okay, I'll zoom into this corner to help clarify it. So right click or snap, and I'm going to snap to this point here, and you can see the line getting shorter. I lost the tool. Go back and get the tool. Right click and right click. Get to screen. There we have it. Our exterior, our perimeter walls that with nice, neat corners. Once we have completed this, we can go ahead and show where the windows and the doors are. So we're going to get the ortho line drawing tool, and again I double click on it so it stays up. And I know about here there's a point. So I'm going to right click, go down and right click, press enter. Right click, press enter. And I know there's one here somewhere, so I'm going to right click, press enter. And again over here, right click, press enter. So those are my windows. Now my door is down here, so right click, enter, right click, enter, enter. There we go. Now the windows are indicated by a line going horizontal halfway through the window, so let's get that parallel tool. We know the wall is 6 inches, so we just need to type in 3 inches, which is half of 6. Parallel this upwards, grab the tool one more time, and do it over here. That's how we are going to indicate our windows. Now the door. The door is, we're going to draw the door rather than grabbing it from the symbols library. Now this is a 2 foot 8 inch opening. So we get the ortho line drawing tool and we right click, point relative, we're going to go up, so 0 tab, 2 foot 8 inches, press enter and enter again. And we want to take the arc drawing tool, which is underneath here, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in. And if I right click here and I right click here, it actually goes the wrong way. So you want to right click on this point first and over here second. There you go, there's your door. Not quite done yet. I'm going to zoom into this so that you can see what I'm going to do next to it. These lines in the middle, I don't need anymore. So because they're separate lines, I'll pull them away to show you, I can just click on them and press delete. So delete. And I want to make this door a little bit more pretty. So I'm going to grab that parallel tool and I'm going to set this to 1 inch and parallel this inwards. And close this little gap off with my line tool. Right click, enter. And that just indicates that this is your hinge point, and it also indicates the door has a thickness of 1 inch. Fit to screen. Next we are going to tackle the closet. The closet is going to be in this area here. Now according to your criteria sheet, you know that the closet is 26 inches deep on the inside. We're going to use 2 standard doors which are 3 feet each, and we're going to have 8-inch stub walls on the outside of the closet. Okay, so let's start by getting a referencing point to start the inside of our closet. So we're going to right click here with the line drawing tool, point relative, going up 26 inches, which is 2 foot 2, either or, I can type in either or. And I'm going to purposely just take this line over here and just randomly left click somewhere, press enter. The reason I did this is it's bad practice to draw lines over top of lines. So if I just draw a line up and pressed enter, you wouldn't even notice there's a line here. By doing this, I can then select that line and delete it later. Let's put that back. This is the important point right here. So, going to grab the ortho line drawing tool, right click, point relative, 8 inches to the right, tab 0, enter. I want to go 4 inches up, point relative, again that's my quotation key, so 0, tab 4 inches, enter, and I should be able to just snap back. So I'm going to right click and it snapped. It actually snapped to this point here, not to the line, it snapped to this point. Press enter. I don't need this line anymore, so I can now click on it and press the delete key. There we go, there's our stub wall for the opening, or for the beginning of our closet. I know that I have 2 3-foot doors right here, so I'm going to take and draw a temporary line of 6 feet using my ortho line drawing tool. Right click, point relative, 6 feet, tab 0, enter. And enter again because we want to delete that later. Get the ortho line drawing tool, right click, point relative, 8 inches, and I want to right click on this point here. Now the machine or the program doesn't necessarily know that this is where I want to go. This is snaps to the nearest point. So I can try by right clicking here and it might pick up that I want to snap this length. And it did. So I right clicked and it snapped to that length. Press enter. This is confusing me right now, so I don't want it there anymore. I'm going to delete it. I need to make this wall thicker. Because I drew it as a continuous line, I can parallel it. See that? It's continuous. So I can parallel it by clicking, holding this down and getting the parallel tool. Partition walls, closet walls, pantry walls, they're all 4 inches. So I type in 4 inches. Click on this and go inwards. See, I can go outwards or inwards. Go inwards, press the left mouse button, and then we just simply need to close this up. So we get the ortho tool, right click, enter. So there's my closet space, and now I need to draw some bifolds. I have a 6-foot opening, so I want 2 3-foot bifolds. We'll take and draw this using this first tool. This is my line drawing tool, but it's good for drawing angles. I want to draw a bifold right here from this point, so I snap to this point, and I want to go up 45 degrees. Now you can look on your point puller sheet. They're located on the bulletin boards in the classroom, and there is also one located on the Moodle site labeled point puller. The point puller quick key is right next to the point relative. It's your semicolon key, or I can go way up here to point puller, and it indicates here what the quick key is, and I want to type in a distance of 1 foot 6 inches. Now 1 foot 6 inches times 2 is 3 feet, and that is a standard bifold door. My angle is going to be 45 degrees. Press enter, and press enter one more time. I want these as separate lines. We're going to do the same here. We're going to right click here. Now this is my starting point for my angle, and this is 0 degrees, 45, 90, 135, 180, 225 degrees, 270, and this would be 315 degrees. It's also known as negative 45. So point puller, same distance of 1.5 feet. Now they converted it to a decimal. Now we want to put in 315 degrees or negative 45. Again, refer to your point puller sheet if you don't quite understand that. Press enter and enter again. There you have it, a bifold. But again, let's make this a little bit more pretty. We're going to grab the zoom tool so we can draw a box around this and zoom in. Zoom window tool, I believe it's called. It was this one right here. Yep, zoom window. Now, we want these to also be 1 inch thick, so we're going to grab that parallel tool, type in 1 inch, and it will convert it to a decimal, 0.0833, which is just 1 divided by 12. Click on the line and we're going to parallel them outwards. Okay, do it one more time. Parallel outwards. And we just need to close the gap with the line drawing tool. So, right click and right click, press enter. Let's double click on this tool and maybe it'll stay up for us. Right click, right click, right click, press enter, and right click, press enter. Okay, now that was a lot of work, but the good news is you will never have to draw another 3-foot bifold. You can just copy and paste this throughout your drawings. So to do that, we need to group the bifold. So with your cursor tool, you're going to draw a box around just the bifold, nothing else. So when I drew a box around it, it didn't highlight the end of this stub wall or this top part. It just highlighted this, and that's good. Now I can go to Tools and press Group Define. Now that I've grouped it, all of these lines have grouped together to create one object. Oops. Now that object was in this position. This is not a good hinge point for the bifold, but this is. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to place this over here, and I'm going to purposely move it from this point to this point. And I've turned this over the years as cardinal 3-click. So I want to put my cursor near this point, right-click to select the point I want to move, right-click to pick the object up, and right-click to put it down. And there's my new hinge point. Now I'm going to zoom out, fit to screen. I want to put another copy over here. So I can select it. I can go Edit Copy and Edit Paste. There's copy, and there is paste in here somewhere. There it is. But the quick keys are to select it and go Control C, Control V. And I just place this in open space. I like to zoom in whenever I can because it makes things a lot more easy. This point is where I want to move. So right-click to pick it up, right-click to put it down. The cardinal 3-click method. Fit to screen, and there you have it. So if you haven't already, this is an excellent time to save your drawing. Go ahead and go File, Save As, and I'll be just saving mine on the desktop, but make sure you go into the Z drive, into your IA10 folder, and save this drawing as Bedroom Plan Practice.